I'm going to talk about brain and emotions. The neuroplasticity is the proven ability of the brain to change, be trained, adapt, grow new neural connections, or degrade the existing ones. All these depend on ourselves and the environment we live in and how we interact with it. By understanding how the brain works and by accepting our ability to alter how the brain reacts to stimuli, we are in the better position to reflect on experience and formulate judgments. And also, therefore, to adapt our behavior towards ourselves and others. The brain takes, in total, more than 20% of the whole energy available of the body. It takes only 2% of our body. It takes 2% of the body mass, but it consumes 20% of oxygen and 20%, 25% of glucose. The brain consumes 90% of its energy in a calm state when people are not asked to do much of thinking. Willpower and self control are not infinite. When we are exposed to situations where we need to portray self control, we consume brain energy fast and thus performing much worse in the next task. In situations of low energy levels, when someone has worked very hard over the last few days and feels very tired, the brain will retreat to a habitual mode and replicate default behaviors to save power. These default behaviors, if guided by deep rooted values, will align with aspirations and will decrease the possibility of undesirable reactions to external stimuli. Our brain is a social organ. It can deal with many things, but not with the absence of interaction. Our brain grows and it becomes better through social interactions. The brain loves patterns. It does so because it makes it feel secure in situations of high uncertainty. Not moving is more dangerous than moving. So the brain will try to find clues to quickly figure out the best option and go for it. It will do so regardless of the quality of the clues. One of the biggest flaw of the brain is that it prefers to resort to less energy demanding neural patterns and see things as they should be and not as they really are. Creativity is a neuroplasticity at its best, identifying new solutions to new old problems, learning new ways, exploring unexpected insights, and challenging the status quo, or enabling new neural pathways to regularly be built inside our brains and keep us effective and competitive for a long time to come. The mindset you develop greatly affects your behavior, relationship with success and failure, and ultimately your aptitude for happiness and well being. A study by neuroscientist Jason Gullett and his associates revealed that creative people benefit the most when taking a break from focusing on a given problem, and that this break allows for non conscious processes to take over and provide insightful solutions. Priming works best when people are not aware of its effect. When we become aware of the effect, priming stops working. Priming triggers implicit memories that helps us perform, mostly automatically, a task based on previous experience. The brain is not independent from its environment. It will continuously receive and process also subliminally much more information than our conscious mind could ever handle, and it will reflexively respond by altering our conscious mind's ability to make decisions. You can read more about triggers and you can also understand about the sparkling positive change and making it last. Symbols can powerfully shape our thinking and acting because we perceive them effortlessly and rapidly, and because they embed themselves deep in our memories. They are magnets of meaning, instantly retrieving associations hardwired in our brains by previous experiences and priming us for specific attitudes, decisions, and behaviors. People form new habits on average in 66 days, with a wide range of 18 to 254 days. Once a habit is formed, new and the old goals expressed by our controlled thinking do not interfere much with the process. But for starting new habits, goals are important, both for starting the process and for maintaining it over time, for the habit to be fully formulated. And let us talk about emotions. Positive or negative emotions spring us into action to either go towards or retrieve ourselves from a situation. Emotions are what is happening within us, while feelings are the subjective perception of what is happening in us and its elaboration. Emotions are automated biological reactions in the form of chemical and neural responses to bodily or environmental stimuli. They are generated automatically, regardless of whether the stimulus is processed consciously or unconsciously, and their role is to make us move or react in order to survive. Feelings, on the other hand, are cognitive representations or perceptions of the changes caused by emotions, as well as the evocation of thinking, processes, and mental states consistent with emotion. It is our general mood that will determine greatly the type of emotions you will express in any given moment. Harvard Business School found that when there is an emotional arousal because of an upcoming important challenge, people do much better when they interpret it as excitement. Uh, See, people who use the strategy of calming down do badly. If you hold a pen horizontally in your teeth without touching it with your lips or for a few seconds, your brain immediately releases happy hormones just because it thinks you're smiling. On the contrary, if you hold the end of the pen with your lips, forming an O and not touching it with your teeth, your brain believes that you're frowning and releases stress hormones. So every action matters. Keep smiling.